time. Always try, sometimes not able to. But we're here because we want to reflect on the season while the transfer portal is currently open and the team is being completely remade. Shout out to Ant, T.O., and Sebastian Mack.
Look, we're gonna have more content coming about that. All right,
Yeah, we're gonna do when the new team is officially finalized in transfer portal. You bet your bottom dollar we'll be back here talking about what we think about that team and wildly overreacting, of course. But for now, before that becomes the case, we want to talk about the season itself, the season that we watched every game, reacted with you guys, lived by the highs and the lows, and now it's time for us after what's been a month.
A few weeks.
Has it been just a few weeks?
Yeah.
Gosh,
first round NCAA tournament, right? Yeah.
It has been crazy for me recently. But to just talk about how we feel about the year, the members of the team, things like that. So our lovely data man, Mike, set up this amazingly detailed Google Doc of ideas we're going to walk through.
Some of the ideas were mine.
No, all Mike. They're all Michael. Curtis will take no credit for this.
Fair enough.
Should I share the screen or should I just talk it over?
Just talk it over.
Yeah,
just talk it over. Okay.
Talk it over, yeah.
So first, as a reminder, the Missouri Tigers Michael wrote down final record and end of postseason, but didn't actually put the Tigers record. So now I look like a complete Divas.
We're in off-season form, baby.
Oh my God. Couldn't take 2 seconds to Google that one on my end before I started.
Missouri Tigers 20-13.
20-13, and what in the SEC?
What do I look like to you? All right.
Seventh, and we finished seventh in the SEC.
Seventh in the SEC
with a 10-8 record in the SEC overall.
Above 500 in the SEC is very much a good thing.
Yeah, above 500 in the SEC, top 50% in the SEC. Winning 20 games is always important. That's a good round number to hit. And I'm interested to see if you guys feel like, well, we'll get to that in a second. But postseason ended with 1 win in the SEC tournament, and then no win. No, we didn't win at all in the SEC tournament.
I was like,
I'm sorry. No, the season ended with a loss to Kentucky in the SEC tournament, and then a loss to Miami in the tournament in St. Louis.
Both hard-fought losses.
Both hard-fought.
And that's what made both of them suck.
Yes. So that leads us to our first big point. When we entered the season, what did you feel like the expectation was? And do you feel like, how close do you think the end result was to your expectation?
Do you mean our expectations going into the season?
Yes. So take yourself back. When our very first podcast, I was standing in my in-laws' basement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that wasn't the first podcast, but it was the one where we really talked about expectations, things like that.
Yeah, there's a dryer going off in the background.
Yeah, dryer going in the background is crazy. What did you expect from the team? And how close do you and when we compare it to the reality, how close do you think they hit that expectation?
End result, basically exactly the same. The way they got there was diabolical.
Yeah.
Okay, and so like for now, I'll leave it there and go to Mike and see his thoughts. But I think that kind of sums up my thoughts.
Apologies. What was the question again? I just got sucked into.
When you take what you expected out of the team, how close did the reality hit that expectation?
From the beginning of the season to the end of the season, your expectations going in. And I said the end result was basically what I expected, but the way they got there was insane.
Yeah, mine was cautiously optimistic. I think with how high the team was talked about, I'll just say as a whole, not on an individual level. I was expecting maybe a little bit more, but some also pleasant surprises of people who stepped up. I would say slightly above my level of expectation.
Really? Wow.
I would say based on one episode when we're all bored and sweating our tits off during the summer, I'll dig through all the old data points of the Evan Mia who ran the season a bunch of times. Most likely outcome for Mizzou was like right around power rank 60 was the most, and we came in at 50. High end would have been like top 15. I think that happened like 5% of the simulations, and then the far right end of the curve would have been like the wheels fall off the bus. Mizzou's in like the 120s or 150s or whatever, but more likely outcome I think was like 60ish. Us ending in the 50s I think is great. So yeah, slightly above. I guess as a Mizzou fan, it's always hard to get.
But I mean, 10 seed losing the first round though. Like take it just
I thought
viewing it from that perspective.
I would say they ended a little below. My expectation was a tournament. I was thinking like 7 or 8 seed. I thought we'd win the first game.
If you asked us after bragging rights.
No, I mean, like we talked about this the whole year, right?
I know.
We constantly were like, now the expectation is this. Now the expectation is this. But we're talking about the very beginning of the season. My expectation was we get to the tournament, 7, 8 seed, win a game. That was, and we even talked about how, you know, even how we thought the roster was going to play. We were like, this team feels like one that has a chance to make a run, but probably doesn't quite have the pieces to like really go the distance. And boy, were we right about that.
We got a couple pieces back, but then a couple pieces never showed up.
And I think the way they got there, as you said, Curtis, the way I expected them to get there, though, this team was completely different from that. And it evolved in a way that was completely unexpected. And we're going to get into that, of course, but it was just like, yeah, if you talk about the expectation, how I thought the team was going to be, completely different from reality. But like the result of it was a little bit worse than I expected. Cool.
Yeah, I agree.
That leads us into, what do you think was the biggest narrative of the year? If people, and I think narrative kind of forms a year or two later when you're looking back and you're like,
but go through some of the narratives that we've seen, not even just for us, go through some of the potential narratives that we've seen online, like from, you know what I mean? Because there are a lot of narratives that I saw after this. It's Gates can't coach in March. It's, you know, like Gates can't coach, period. You know, like there's a lot of talking points that came up here, though. Yeah.
Well, it's the narrative of the team. Like, for example, if I was to take narratives of previous teams, like Gates' first year team,
then, you know, like
run and gun, like just, it was, the narrative was like, this is a run and gun team that was going to flame out, but like it would be fun doing it. And that's, yeah. The second season, the narrative was injuries. It was an injury riddled team that just failed to get anywhere and just like huffed and puffed and nothing happened. And I don't really know how to narratize last year's team.
Is that a word? I don't know.
Sure,
we're gonna roll with it.
But if I was to guess this one, it would just be this team can never take off. So something along the lines of, it kept getting close.
It kept getting close.
But in almost both directions. It came close to falling apart, and then they would salvage it, and then they came close to almost completely blowing the roof off, and then they couldn't salvage it, and they would almost fall. And it was like this constant, like, if you have like a
are they amazing, like, or do they suck?
It's like the ceiling in the roof, or the ceiling in the basement, and they just kept pointing off the 2 points over.
Julian, I want to bring this up to you because you specifically like talked about throughout the season that, hey, this is like SEC basketball. You know, like everyone, like, you know, we can't get too high or too low. Like everyone loses, you know, to quote unquote bad teams, and, you know, can do whatever. Looking back on it, do you think that we had more variance than most of the teams?
We by far had the craziest variance when you talk about the teams we beat versus the teams we lost against.
Yeah,
I think, like, because you could also argue the narrative of this team was just average. It was an average tournament team, and it had flashes. It had, and like, if you consider it compared to other bubble teams, they were stronger than most other bubble teams, but it was still average.
They could have beaten anyone we saw.
But it was more of like, this team showed ability to beat really good teams, and then it would just putter it away against awful teams. And I think part of it was that we'd often hit the highs of a certain player's arc for the season right when we needed it the most. Like, Ant had 2 of his best games against Florida and Kentucky, and then he fell off a cliff. Like,
wasn't who we were,
the first part of the season. Yeah, he no-showed the first part of the season, had games against Florida and Kentucky, fell off, and then we saw him again, basically, against Miami.
We got T.O.'s flashes.
T.O.'s flash. helped us beat Tennessee, who went really far in the tournament. Helped us beat, and now it's like blank at the top of my head.
It was that whole sequence of the season where we actually had.
But like T.O. and you could also argue those were the games Trent Burns played his best.
Yeah.
And winning that. Texas A&M was Pierce and
Vandy,
Phillips' best
barely,
games.
but yeah.
Yeah, Vandy. Texas A&M was like Pierce and the Texas A&M, like, and there's another game next to that one
game.
in Oklahoma. That was Pierce and Pierce had an awful game against Oklahoma. But my point being is that like Pierce and Phillips had great game against Texas A&M to pull that one out. Mark Mitchell played well the whole game, but the games we dropped were just games where like no one else really had it.
So the question was
this team could never have everyone
what's
hit
the
it at the same
narrative,
time.
and that's it, right? Is that the team never we were just what we were, like we didn't. I don't mean that like condescendingly.
We were just what we were.
Yeah. We could never get too high. We could never get too low. And I want to get more into that later about maybe why we weren't able to take that next step. But let's turn over to Mike. One narrative from the season.
Ooh, one narrative. Mine's going to be broken into 4 parts.
That's how he cheats it. It's one narrative broken into 4 parts.
Let me go get a beer. Jeez.
I feel like this is also what are a few words to describe this season. I feel like the narrative and the few words thing kind of blend into this
Yeah.
thing.
We're gonna mix these in. We're not gonna do the next one. Yeah.
Go for it, Mike.
Preseason narrative.
Mm.
Our as a whole step forward program, right? Early season. Granted, we're playing not the best teams, but this team might be for real. A 4 to 7 seed range wouldn't have been out of the realm of possibility based on the way they were playing. Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know where you're going with this.
What team did you watch, my man?
Yeah, are you kidding me? Will we beat Howard?
The non-con was ever going. This team sucks. What do you mean?
Just we're going broad stroke statistically.
Also, you were the biggest hater on us at that point of the season. Whatever, continue. All right, I'll let you finish.
Already gaslighting us.
I'm muting myself. I know. Are you kidding me?
Then searching for an identity. You got the Illinois game, then the Kentucky-Florida game.
That's the first time you didn't call it the audit by Illinois.
The audit by Illinois. But that's just like, who are we as a team? Like literally polar opposite within a 14-day stretch. And then the end would be fitting, but frustrating. That's how I viewed it. Because it wasn't like even, I don't know. That's just how I thought of it. Like I genuinely had high hopes, like for this team based on the way preseason and offseason they were talked about, and that this team's potential of actually being in a top 25 team. The talent may or may not have been there, but that's just how I viewed it. Maybe this team might be for real in the early season. There's a bit of a misnomer, misspeaking on my end, but I don't know. That's how I kind of took it.
Mike, to go back to the question, one narrative for the season. All right, we let you get your 4-parter in there.
I think probably by the fan would be
for you.
For me would have been just one word would have been injuries.
It doesn't have to be one word. Just what was the narrative of the season?
I would love, just maybe the injuries. Taking the injuries away, you get the full team that played against Kentucky and Florida. I think our season's a little bit different.
The games we won?
Do you think the season's any different if Boat doesn't get hurt? I'm not saying he was playing a big role, but he was spelling 4 to 5 minutes, and those were just gone. Some games he didn't play.
Yeah,
but like
lack of depth could have been.
Mike, do you think Boat or Porter's injuries is more important?
You could argue a narrative was lack of depth. Like, it was funny because
that's actually probably the best one. Because
you said injuries,
because the staff talked about, even when everyone was healthy, this was still a thin team. Like, the thing the staff brought up was like, well, we have a lot of guys. Then we realized we didn't. And here's the thing. I would argue that preseason, that was a talking point. That even before the season started, people said the staff did not really hit it out in the portal. There's a lot of reaches. The only portal player I would argue that felt like a sure thing was Sean Phillips and Sebastian Mack. But like all the others were maybes. And then Sean Phillips, I thought, delivered at the amount that we thought he was going to. Maybe even better. I actually think Sean Phillips played a little bit better than I anticipated out of him.
Save my Sean Phillips run for later, all right?
But Sebastian Mack blew up. And like rumors are that wasn't an insignificant amount of NIL money either that was used on that guy, and he didn't perform. And so once Mack went off the table, and it was quickly realized that Northweather was not a conference level player, and that
we'll come to that later as well.
And Porter, even if Porter was healthy, was he going to be a game changer? Yeah. Like, so all that to me says like, and that was a worry before the season started. So I would say if that was something you take without the thing, it's the depth.
Well, so I'll toss mine in real quick. Biggest narrative of the year. I've only got one. Sorry, Mike. We are who we thought we were. Not in the traditional sense, but we with the injuries that we had, we just ended up being kind of exactly what, like, throughout the season. Like, once we faced good competition, and I know we were hurt, it got kind of ugly against Kansas, against Illinois, etc. You know, that loss to Notre Dame even was like, oh, man, like, maybe we're just not that good. And we had injuries, and then we got guys back, but then we had new injuries, and it just, you know, we were who we thought we were. It stinks. I would have liked to make a run, but it is what it is. Do we want to get into the awards segment now? And I think we can get a little deeper into some of these players.
Well, here's a question. You want to do awards segment, or do you want to do player rankings? Because we did a player ranking like halfway through the season, and I think that one's going to be fascinating.
Do you have those stats pulled up?
Let me find that while we do the awards segment. Okay. So what was your favorite moment of the season?
Ooh.
All right. I mean, you want me to lead off? I'm going to go with the easy one. Oklahoma. It was the Oklahoma double buzzer beater. Pierce, Mitchell. I was watching that game on my phone in Daytona at the Rolex 24 hours, and my phone, and I was like, I'll be able to watch the end of the game. I had like 8% battery left. Goes to overtime. All of a sudden, I'm panicking. I've got to sprint across, 200 yards to get to the charging station. Those chargers suck. Boy, it was the best moment of the season. I don't know how it. I think there are better games, which we'll get to, but best moment, Mitchell, buzzer beater, Oklahoma. Mark Mitchell, of all people, too. Pulling up from 3. We had no shot. There was, 2.5 on the clock? And he just dribbles it across half court, pulls up from 30 feet. If anyone has can argue that's not an incredible moment, by all means. But for me, that was, losing my mind there. Mike, we'll get to your pick, but before that, while Julian looks for our old rankings, which I don't know if we're gonna be able to find. I'm sorry, Julian, I should have found this earlier. Thoughts on the Oklahoma moment, that game, that day as a whole?
It was freaking amazing. What do you mean? It was also just like, oh my God, I can't believe we almost lost to Oklahoma, who turned out to actually have like an amazing end of the season. So actually that win looked better and better. But just
it aged very well.
But like, if you're gonna, there's kind of this is like ballyhooed about how nothing good happens from Mizzou. Like, that was some insano stuff happening. Like, you have Trent Pierce, who didn't make a shot all game, hit the tying 3. You have Mark Mitchell make a running 3-pointer shot. Like, that's the sort of game everyone would be like, that happens to Mizzou.
Yeah.
You said it was Mizzou.
Yeah. Mike and I both. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I found it. I found our player rankings.
All right.
Heck yeah, let's go.
This is crazy.
Oh no! Oh
I-
no! I know I picked Luca Northweather like second or third. This is gonna be bad.
Dude, this is. And keep in mind, this was
Share
like
the screen, please.
This was halfway through the non-con. No, we're gonna save it for after the awards. Okay.
No. I just mean in it, like when you can.
When you do it, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I would say.
So favorite moment, Julian. Yes.
So
I still.
when I first read this,
I'm sorry to let me clarify. Mark Mitchell's buzzer beater. That is my picking moment. That is my favorite moment. Just to get that out there. Now yours.
when I first read this question, I thought Oklahoma, but when I really think about it, I think it was beating Kentucky at Kentucky. Think about what came out of that.
We've got favorite game coming up though. You know,
but like, so game and moments different for you.
Yeah, that's why I said it was Mitchell's. That's why I clarified Mark Mitchell's buzzer beater.
Because the moment when Mark Pope made a joke about killing himself because he lost to Mizzou, that's a pretty good moment.
Pope was down after that game.
I think one moment that sticks out to me is the Trent Burns hit 3 at the end of the half against Florida. The drawn up Trent Burns 3, which is like the only 3 he hit this season.
His first shot attempt of the year, right?
No, it wasn't his first shot attempt, but it was like the first and only 3 he made. Like it was like he didn't hit one the rest of the season. And it's funny because then every game the announcer would be like, he's real from there. He can hit that. And then
Julian, I'm gonna go back and change my answer. I was thinking only in basketball terms. I'm gonna change my answer. Favorite moment of the season was Mark Pope joking about killing himself after losing to Mizzou. All right. It's
a really good one.
That's now my favorite moment of the year. I'm gonna open it up for the Mark Mitchell 3 if anybody else wants to take that.
And then I would say a moment that was a continuous moment that happened again and again was Sean Phillips smacking someone in the face. Mostly on accident, sometimes on purpose, let's be honest. But mostly, in my opinion, on accident. Mike, any ones from you?
Julian, what's your official thing? I'm making.
If it's a moment, not a game, then yes,
Moments.
It's the Oklahoma game winner by Mark Mitchell.
Okay.
Let's just highlight real stuff right there. Can't deny that.
When I was dictating this script, my literary assistant kind of dropped the ball on this one.
Penny already working for zero wages.
Yeah, leave her out of this. My moment.
Mike looks so stressed right now, buddy. Come on.
I would say not an individual player moment or like game moment, but the feeling after the Florida game of when everyone was back together as a team, of being like, okay, maybe this was the team that was talked about in August and September. Like this is it. And maybe because it came off of, just one of the biggest belt to ass moments I've ever seen in college basketball.
The audit.
What Illinois did to us, losing by 43 when they called the dogs off. If they don't call the dogs off that game, we legitimately could have lost by 70 points.
Did you see the chat?
Mike's having flashbacks about.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that on the screen.
But just the moment of like, just that's cool. Yeah, because there's 2 moments. Yeah, I'm not gonna go on my tangents, but after that Illinois game, that was like the lowest me as a fan has been, of like, oh my god, like we literally got ran out of the gym.
I was talking to my mom about how Gates is gonna be fired.
Like
if he doesn't turn the season.
I'm so glad I didn't go back to St. Louis.
The saving grace of like what would be what SLU did to Georgia in the first round of the tournament, of like just a complete domination. But yeah, that just a moment after that Florida game of like, just that man, okay, this is what was talked about, like these, the rumors and the whispers, and man, this team has something
Yeah.
that
I
was,
saw, I saw a piece of modern day philosophy recently on social media, which was you cannot have the "we're so back" unless you have "it's so over."
yeah, that's great. That's
And
a great point. And
Illinois was "it's so over," and then Florida is
yes,
"we are so
and
back."
Yeah.
that
You
little
need the heartbreak to find love. You know what I mean?
in that moment, like, and moment being multiple days, but
So
like
over.
from what was it, like December 22nd to early January 3rd or 4th or whatever, like that 2 week stretch of like you're in the gutter, you're down, um, your guy's not picking up the phone, you don't know what to do, you're jonesing, and next thing you know, the dude picks up the phone and we're back, baby. Like, we got it.
So
Like,
Mike. It's all this to say, your favorite moment of the year was the bounce back versus Florida, right? Just for sake
just
of
like
locking it down.
just like that 10 minutes after the game of like our reaction going live, and like, this is what we've been waiting for.
Florida
Like,
win,
this
parentheses, we're back.
and then my favorite game would have been Florida.
No. That's a separate category, Mike. All right, hold on.
Playing
I
Miami.
mean, we can just add on favorite game now.
Yeah. Let's pivot to that. I will say,
Mike, what was your favorite game?
I quite literally, I didn't go to St. Louis this year. I did go the year before, and I ended up in the hospital on the day of bragging
You've heard
rights.
this story.
No, I know,
Curtis. You've told us this story multiple times.
I'm saying that was better than sitting on my couch watching the audit. All right, in regards to games. Now, Mike.
Justin Smith in the chat just realized TO equals Mizzou. Yes. No. But
we have a lot of players that I think are microcosms of our.
I would actually say Mizzou is more Trent Pierce, where if he's feeling it, it looks amazing. But then when his confidence gets rocked a bit, it just goes away. T.O. never lost his confidence. T.O. was overly confident unless he was asked to shoot an open three. Then he would pause for a weird amount of time and then shoot a brick. Though he had a few games where he could hit threes because he just took them without like thinking about it. But anyway,
is there anyone else on the team that more sums up real quick? Mizzou. We're gonna get into
it's Trent
the
Pierce.
players.
Trent Pierce to
it's
me.
Pierce. I think
and also
you're right.
is a bellwether for Mizzou.
Yeah, I think you're.
You could argue Mark Mitchell also represents Mizzou just because
no,
our
I
most successful way of playing was how Mark played, which was just slamming the ball into the paint over and over.
He overall is way better than, you know what I mean. He's more consistent than Mizzou was. So Trent Pierce is the answer.
So Mike has favorite game was Florida. My favorite game was Kentucky.
Wait, did Mike was that his answer?
He said Florida.
Mine was Florida.
Okay.
You're too busy trying to tell your St. Louis story for the 18th time that you weren't listening to the man.
I was listening, but I thought that he would maybe change up his favorite moment from favorite game, you know.
No.
Favorite game.
Mine is Kentucky because winning at Rupp Arena, even though it's led by Mark Pope, is still worth a lot. We'll take those.
I would say
my second is Tennessee though, because
what are we doing here? Come on.
Because I want to mention Justin Smith in the chat who mentioned how Tennessee was an amazing game. That game had Trent Burns play a legitimate role in the victory. Like
would not have won the game without him. First big minutes, right? Like
2, T.O. had one of the most insane 4 possessions in a row stretches I've seen in a long time, where it looked like he could not be stopped. Both him finding passes and then just bullying Tennessee on a drive. Like we like mouth agog for 4 straight possessions from T.O. on that one. So just there's some insane moments in that one as well.
No. Dude, that game was nuts. It was so fun. So fun.
What was your favorite game, Curtis?
I do want to come back to I guess we'll come back to T.O. when we get to the next category. You guys left me with some good ones. I'm gonna maybe get cooked for this. Vanderbilt. It's Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. But I mean, dude, when you're just talking about a Missouri basketball game, that meant something against what they were ranked 19 at the time, I believe. Vandy was like,
dude.
And we were up by 18.
That shot was it
was
so
halfway
good
down.
that the Mizzou players started reacting as if they lost.
Mark Mitchell,
then they realized the ball popped out.
We had the ball with a lead, and Mark Mitchell tries to just like, hey, if we throw it down to the other end of the court, they won't have enough time to do anything. Well, that requires you to actually throw it down. That was the ultimate nice pass, Matt Castle. Yeah,
I would have loved he just threw it directly.
And didn't he throw it with his right hand?
Yeah,
and he's left-handed.
Yeah, he threw it right-handed. That was a good one.
But we won, and also there was I don't have the exact stat here. I'm gonna guesstimate 27 minutes of reviews during that game, just off the top of my head.
It's awesome.
It was.
I love when
ridiculous.
refs take over a game.
It was like 2 a.m. by the time we finished our live reaction after that game. But we beat number 19 at home. It for 25 minutes of that game, it was up there with the Texas A&M game in terms of the best we have looked all season. The problem is Vanderbilt was not Texas A&M. They actually had the capability to come back, and we really pooped ourselves, or we really tried to at the very least. And so the fact that we won it, I don't like looking back. I'm cool with that. It was a win's a win, and what a night that was. What a night. Again, sorry that you guys had to like read my text messages during that game, but like it is what it is, man. We won. We beat a ranked team. It was massive. It was that leading into the Tennessee game, which was, let's see here, 2 games later. We lost at Arkansas in between. But those 2 games are like really what cemented our place in the tournament. And so for those reasons, I'm going to pick Vanderbilt as my favorite game of the season, even though I feel insane saying that.
So next category, we can all agree Mark Mitchell is the best player on the team. So team like best player is out the window. Who's your favorite player on the team?
Yeah. No. Fuck best player. It's favorite player.
Who's your favorite player?
Man.
I know
Mike has to go first. Mike has to go first. We have to put the pressure on him, dude. I'm looking at him. Again, he's once again looking like he's getting flashbacks.
That's why I always full court press Mike. You have to put the pressure on him from the first step.
I've been trying to hit him every time I can, and then he's just panicking.
Favorite player. Probably the bus seat or the plane seat that Northweather was fucking carted around on all season. Man. I mean, that guy. Oh my god.
You're such a just elite level hatred, man.
No, I would say probably Stone. There were.
Ooh,
that's a good one. Yeah. That was my first pick. So good stuff.
Thank you,
Kale. Yeah,
much appreciated. Appreciate the support. I really liked watching Stone play when he was playing really well. He didn't do a ton on defense, but like I really liked his offense. And just like getting him whenever he seemed to be in the lineup, it just seemed like we were taking that little extra So I really, really liked watching him play, and kind of a cool story. Multiple different universities, injured, back. I really liked watching him play.
Yeah. Injured to the point where his, ability to play basketball was in jeopardy. You know what I mean?
Done, yeah.
Like that's
So Stone for me.
All right. Dang, man. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll just go, and then we'll go to Julian after that. Yeah, mine was Stone as well. We joked about it a lot of like where defensively, he wasn't actually doing anything, but he always looked like he was doing something, and that's half the battle. All right, is just looking like you know what you're doing. But offensively, he was like, even on his bad games, and he did have his bad shooting games, he was no worse than Pierce was in the same game. You know what I mean? It was just every game, it just felt like everyone was cold on the same night. So it's hard to be mad at anyone. And then like Ant comes in and hits like 2 30-footers, and you're like, what's going on here? But yeah, pumping up the crowd, the yams. Man, I love that guy. Or I don't know what they call him in Australia. I don't think they call him yams.
They call him
Vegemite. Yeah, something like that.
What is a good dunk called in Australia?
Yeah.
I think mid-season I probably would have leaned To, but then he had such a rough end.
Yeah.
And I can't help but say that him leaving also, I think, affects how I feel about this. It's also like a brain.
Don't use that. Don't use that.
So brain, my favorite player is Mark Mitchell. When that dude was on, the amount of times I yelled at my TV, that man's too big, or that man is too strong, or you cannot stop him, or because there would be times where it was just like the opposing team looked so upset because they're like, I'm getting called for a foul because this guy spun into me. There's nothing I can do. It's like, sucker. That's but my heart, it's gonna sound insane. My heart says Trent Burns. I loved watching his little mini arc at the end of the season. It was like watching a deer learn to walk, like a baby deer, where like every day it got progressively better, like leaps and bounds, but it was so bad at walking. And he looked so earnest, and he tried so
sick,
hard.
Man. This is your favorite player you're talking about?
So
you're calling him Bambi?
Yes. But like he learned so fast. Every game he was improving. And then of course, like end of the season where the stakes got super high, he struggled. But like and also the potential of him. Like you have the potential of one of the most unique players in the country if he pans out. And I'm a sucker for potential, man. That's why I'm like, I hope Aaron Rose stays, because I just have this envision in my mind where it's like, what if he like works out? What if we have like the short guy and the super tall guy and they're both playing really well? That'd be fun. But that's why I said it's my heart, and my heart is crazy. But
all right.
But yeah.
No,
Okay.
I all right, Julian, once again, I'm gonna have to ask you the question I normally ask Mike. So what is your answer? Is it Burns? I have Mitchell / Burns.
Put down Burns.
You're going Burns? You're going Burns?
Burns.
Okay.
I'm not scared. Put down
Okay.
Burns.
We love this man.
Just like I wasn't scared saying Teal was gonna make a leap this year, and everyone was like,
you're just saying that because.
All right, are you guys ready to look at your player rankings? And this was like a few games before the Illinois game. Okay. You ready for this?
Oh gosh. Yeah.
We did. I think we did it after.
It was like a particularly like boring non-con game. That was. Like,
it was. We were desperate for content. We were desperate for content. Yes.
NC State.
This is gonna be fun, fellas. This is gonna be fun.
I don't even remember this.
Oh God.
Curtis had Mark Mitchell, Ant, Jacob Cruz, Jane Stone, Luke Northweather, Sean Phillips, T.O. Barrett, Sebastian Mack, Javon Porter, Bo Rowe, who had even played. None of these guys had played at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's why they were down. Okay.
Mine was Mark Mitchell. I was the predictor so many times this season. I'm going to pat myself in the back. I said Jane Stone number 2, and I was right.
Fair enough.
We'll talk about it. But Ant, Luke Northweather, Jacob Cruz, Sebastian Mack, T.O. Barrett, Porter, Phillips. I said Phillips was 9th, and then the rest of the guys didn't play. And then Mike was Ant, Mark Mitchell, Jacob Cruz, Jayden Stone, Luka Northweather, Javon.
Oh, Mike, you might just want to leave. That's bad, brother. Screenshot that. Yeah. That is, and again, worth noting that none of the bottom 5 guys had played at this point. That is the reason we did not include them in our rankings.
Okay.
Like maybe we should like bold them or whatever.
Yeah, if we put something out, we'll have to like make a note.
Yeah. Just bold them. Just bold them for now.
Yeah.
And we'll figure it out.
Jeez.
Yes. Had not palliated.
Yeah, I have to jump in front of this bus real quick. Keep in mind, Cruz did almost all his scoring against absolutely nobody. So,
yes. This is when Jacob Cruz looked his best.
Yes.
I was not fooled.
Yeah, Julian, you had him fifth, and honestly, that feels too high.
All right. Well, at the
Let's
time
do
I
it
was
again.
like, well, my argument at the time I remember was his defense is still good, but his offense he's just trying to find his way, and like the team was so congested. And Mike's was the analytics still says Ant is good. Like that was his entire argument, if I remember correctly.
All right,
Yes.
can we just go 1-1-1 Mitchell?
Yes.
Let's get to the interesting
Who
part here.
was
All
the
right.
second best player?
Yeah,
season?
that's really what we're doing here. Okay.
I'll just jump in front of it. I think you have to go Stone.
Curtis, do you agree?
Well, we're snaking it back, so it's you. You were trying to buy yourself some time, weren't you? Yep. I'm not gonna let you. Nope.
Oh God.
It's not so. It's
Mhm.
not so fun.
Not
when the
so
rabbit's got
fun
the
now,
gun.
is it, Julian? Huh?
The rabbit's got the gun now.
Yeah.
To
I've
you,
never heard that phrase, but
is,
yes.
is best, if this is our player rankings, the best, would you view best and important as the same thing?
Yeah.
What were how did we rank it the first time?
Sean Phillips.
That's fair.
I would put Sean
you.
Phillips. When Sean Phillips was struggling, the team looked really bad. And when he was playing well, the team was different.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
You're a son of a bitch. I'm going, yeah, my answer, Sean Phillips also. And then if we're snaking this around, my number 3 is Jaden Stone.
Yeah.
I wish he was healthy more, but I stand by it.
I also agree.
You're going
with Jaden
Stone as well? Yeah, okay.
Are you doing
So,
Phillips for third, Mike?
Don't you put words in his mouth.
Well, I'm curious.
No, that's what I'm thinking right now. I would
We're
go.
gonna give you Aaron Rowe if you don't hurry up.
No, I'm gonna say. Oof. That's
Yes.
tough.
You were at the end of the snake draft, buddy.
I would say Pierce.
Okay,
Interesting.
fair enough. Yeah.
Really, you take Trent Pierce? Fascinating.
I think I don't have to justify shit to anybody.
Justin Smith. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I'm gonna put this one on the thing. Yeah. Mike's gonna put Rowe above Luca, isn't he? Yeah.
Dude, wait till you're gonna love bottom. You're gonna love it.
I love this. All right, Mike, you're up again. Snake draft, buddy. All right, you got to double up. Give us number 4. You have Mark Mitchell, number 1, Jaden Stone, number 2, Trent Pierce, number 3.
I'd go Ant.
Wow.
Okay, who you had number 1 in the middle of non-con when we did this.
I mean, he's still...
Again, Pierce and Burns hadn't even played at that point. So
yeah, clearly our best defender. So,
all right, I'm curious where Julian goes here. Julian has number 1, Mark, number 2, Sean Phillips, number 3, Jaden Stone, number 4.
It's Theo Barrett.
Okay, yeah,
That's
I said I was,
It's Theo Barrett.
interested to see where you're going
He
with that.
saved the season when he started over Ant. He had, once he started, his stats are very good. And it was the inverse of Cruz, right? Where Cruz had his best at the beginning of the season, Tio was his worst at the beginning of the season. Yes, he had some rough games at the end, but I think part of that was that so many people were playing bad. He felt like he had to force things, and it didn't work. But you can't forget how absolutely vital he was in the wins against Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Texas A&M. When he was on, I mean, honestly, if he had finished strong, I might have put him 3rd or even 2nd. Because there were a couple games where it was literally him and Mark.
Yeah, it did.
They were the only ones scoring.
If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
That's like the 4th time you said.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
Well,
Curtis, what about you?
No, I had to say that because I was just desperately trying to buy time so that I didn't have the exact same thing as you. But I did decide in the end. I'm going Pierce 4. So I have Mitchell 1, Sean Phillips 2, Jaden Stone 3, Trent Pierce 4. I think in the end, I absolutely could have taken T.O. here. I think what these lists are showing is that, boy, we did not have a lot of like legitimate depth here. We did not have a lot of players that we could count on. I think Pierce was extremely inconsistent. So was T.O. So was Ant. It is what it is. But I think when Pierce was on, I think it mattered maybe a little bit more. But I mean, I will fully admit that I'm splitting hairs here, man.
All right. What was number 5 for you?
Number 5, I'm gonna go. Here comes the point guard battle. I'm going T.O. I think T.O. was, and this is an interesting discussion, but I think T.O. was, and Julian, you kind of touched on it. I think T.O. was slightly more important than Ant throughout the course of the important part of the season. So that's my logic.
I'm Trent Pierce for number 5.
Okay. So we've got the same guys.
Completely changed when he started again, when he came back.
But he also sucked for a while. That's okay.
My 5 T.O. 6 Phillips.
Sean Phillips 6 for Mike.
That's pretty wild.
We might need to take a pause on that one.
Mike just lives in the analytics, and he can't give up Anthony Robinson. My 6 is Anthony Robinson, and that means and now when we get below 6 and 7, this is when things start getting a little bit.
They're gonna get
what did you just say?
They're gonna get hairy.
No, this is the entire thing. Yeah, we're into the weeds here. It really has to be Ant. Give me Ant for 6.
Okay, but who's 5? Let's not.
I already have
bottom
5.
ones too long.
You mean who's 7?
Yeah, who's 7? Yeah, let's not dwell on these ending ones too. Let's just kind of
dude,
get through these.
Burns.
Ooh.
I think it has to be Burns. I don't even think that's a question.
I was also going to take Trent Burns.
Yeah, I don't think that's a question. I think 8's where it gets hairy.
Mike, it has to be Trent
Mike
Burns.
is still
It has to be Trent Burns. It has to be Trent Burns.
Who else are you going to take?
Are you going to put
this
Jacob
man?
Cruz above Trent Burns?
Are you kidding me? He's going to put Boat over Trent Burns?
No, there's not the Marianas Trench isn't deep enough to where I'm going to put Cruz. But yes.
Yeah. Cruz was the only.
Okay, then who's your 8th?
So who's your
now,
8?
This
is what I'm interested. All right. Let's.
Yeah.
There might be a prolonged silence for audio listeners, but Mike, who's your number 8 pick?
You guys ready for it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
I'm going Mac.
That's bold, dude. You are off the goop. What are you talking about?
Tom Petty.
Dude, Justin Smith in the chat put Mac last. I might put. Look, to me, it's pretty clear who's number 8. Okay,
You don't want to say it, but you're going to.
it's Nicholas Rando.
Okay.
He played some important spot minutes here and there, and look. Okay, actually, technically, I'm taking it back.
8
What
through
are you
14,
taking back?
They're all the same. It really doesn't matter. It's just they're all the same. They really are. Like the possibility of Randall is there, but there's also the possibility that he fizzles out and ends up in Azerbaijan playing basketball in a few years, and we never hear from him again. Like they're literally all the same.
So like it should be Jacob Cruz technically at number 8. So for those who are just joining on, this top list was from the middle of the season. That was like halfway through the season. Okay. Who are you picking on at 8?
Oh man. Oh, so you pussed out. You put Cruz.
Yeah. Cruz had more of an impact than Randall.
Yeah, but was it a good impact?
Okay, then pull the trigger, my man. Put someone else at 8.
I'm going Randall then, and then I'll go and I'm putting Cruz 9. I just don't want to give him the respect of giving him 8. Honestly, I love Jacob Cruz. We love anyone that suits up in the black and gold for us, right? Like,
of course,
no question. But, buddy, boy, what a bad year.
Yeah. Number 9, I have Nicholas Randall. Yeah, number 9 there.
I mean, they're all the same. I'd go Randall and
Who's at 10? Playing devil's advocate, at what point was Ant ever number 1? Dude, Mike believed in the analytics. And
He was an Ant truther.
I was.
You guys tapped into the smooth Cruz Twitch. Wait, Cruz was actually Twitch streaming?
He doesn't get any viewers. He doesn't really do it.
Well, he would have had
What
some.
was he playing? Fortnite? Call of Duty?
I
NBA
don't
2K?
Hopefully you can hit a 3 in 2K.
That's a fun bit. What
Okay,
games? None of us follow him on Twitch. What games does Jacob Cruz play on Twitch? But
from 10 to 14 here, Mike, can you just give me your last your end of the list here?
10 to 14.
Don't overthink it. Just
realize
realize
at this point. Yeah,
it's pretty pointless. But
Yeah, I'd go boat.
barely played. Yeah.
Wayne Cruz.
No, fuck no. Who haven't I used? Boat.
You have Aaron Rowe.
Mike's gonna put his daughter ahead of ahead of Cruz. I mean,
Porter.
Go
and
Porter.
North
it's Porter, Rowe, and Cruz left.
And you have Northweather too.
Yes.
Yeah, Rowe. Northweather, Cruz.
I respect it.
I'm going.
You have to respect
Boat,
it.
Javon Porter. Then Mac, Northweather. Actually, I'm gonna put Northweather in front of Mac. He actually played, I think, more meaningful minutes. Northweather, Mac, and then Rowe.
I actually don't hate Mike putting Mac at 8. Honestly, the more
Are you kidding, dude? He did not play in conference. He did not play.
I know, but did he do? Like, was he worse than Randall?
Yes. Randall actually played minutes during conference. Like, spot minutes, but he actually did play.
There's just no difference. Like,
right.
there's literally no like.
Now at this point, all right, Julian, who have I got left? All right, come on, this is the fun part. All right, so I've got Mark Mitchell 1, Mark
Boat,
Mitchell,
Porter,
Phillips,
Northweather, Mac, and Rowe. You have like the exact same as me.
Okay. 10. Boat.
I feel like we're gonna have the same one.
Yeah, 11. No, 11 Northweather. Yeah. Vibes. Good vibes guy.
Good vibes guy.
12.
I got you. This is.
Yeah. We'll go with that. 12 Porter, 13 Mac, 14 Rowe. Yep. For audio listeners there. Julian and I ended up with pretty similar.
Dude, I agree. Justin Smith,
here.
Curtis, and Mike are insane for this Mac revision history.
What revision? I picked him. I picked him 13th out of 14.
You just said you might agree with Mike on him putting it 8. Are you guys being paid by Big Mac to his numbers?
They're from like out to.
No, he's trash, but at least he played minutes, man. Like
literally from you can interchange my rankings from 8 to 14.
Yeah.
In any order you want, it doesn't.
Like, what did Rowe do? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Like, if Rowe just like wasn't capable of playing against SEC competitions, we're gonna like use that as a positive for him.
Weight. He was eating 4 peanut butter and jellies a day.
I am. These. The difference between mid.
Look at our top 7.
Yeah, exactly.
All of our top 7s were the only ones. I mean, except the Cruz, or really not even that. The top 7s were the only ones that logged serious, meaningful, impactful minutes.
Yeah, we were
Dude, I just love
2013 Spurs, dude. Like
Jacob
we
Cruz at
didn't have
3.
that many minutes, man.
Jacob Cruz at 3 goes to 9 for Curtis, 8 for me, and then I had him at 5. You had him at 14.
Now I'm remembering the context behind our ratings. One, that was right when I'll have to dig back through our notes when we originally put that together, but I think that's when what Ann are we going to get this year?
Yeah,
because that's when the slope became a little slippery, and he's still our
at the worst possible time.
Mike, are you going to be able to watch the games when the big rotation is Burns, Northwestern, Porter? Dude, they're spending big in the portal for a big. If they don't get an impactful big in the portal, they fail the transfer cycle. That just is what it is. Like this entire transfer cycle is based on based on getting it big in the portal.
Yeah, the not that Mizzou's going to be at Arizona or Michigan, but in Illinois, like, you got to have bigs that can run the court. You got to have bigs that are a threat at shooting the ball and are diverse. So the big rotation that we started with, in hindsight, I get where it was going because that's how everyone's playing. And we just didn't have a big that was a consistent threat. And I don't know if Phillips can genuinely run up and down the court for 36 minutes. And he's not running the court with the ball in his hand, nor is he going to step out and shoot a 3.
Phillips? No, he's out of
No, that's what I'm saying. No. That's what I was asking.
Yeah. Playing devil's advocate, Padilla hit the nail on the head. It is kind of, and yeah, if you looked at the course of this season, the ebbs and flows, it is like looking at the bracket in front of me. And when we talked to Maggie about this, that there was the chance of us going in at an 8 or 9. And yes, you're still going to get matched up with a 1, and you still got to beat the 8 or 9, whatever you go in at. But it was there, and the wheels obviously fell off the bus. But
I like to remind everyone, our starting lineup against Howard was Ant, Mack, Porter, Mark Mitchell, Sean Phillips, with the first person off the bench being T.O. and Luka Northweather.
How many minutes did Porter play?
I think he played 18 minutes that game.
Yeah.
I mean, that lineup, like, I don't.
Against Howard, sure, yeah.
Well, knowing what we obviously know now, but
the ending lineup was T.O., Stone
against Miami, yeah.
Against Miami, T.O., Stone, Pierce, Mark, and Phillips, with first off the bench being Ant.
Yeah, I do see that. Like, I agree with Gates with the
vision was there.
The vision was there. The jumbo lineup that we kind of loved and hated, but like after watching,
we talked about all year, yeah,
the full course of this season and watching teams that were very long and lanky and can shoot the ball, I definitely see that vision. But I don't know what we ended up at, but I don't think we came anywhere near 800 attempted threes. Nor we don't.
No, all right.
Here, let me. You guys want to see something fun here? Here is.
I yearn for something fun.
Please.
I do wish we could have seen Porter at the 5 at some point.
Yes. Justin Smith, yes.
Javon Porter played 28 minutes, 7 points, and 2 of 4. He had 4 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds. 6 rebounds altogether. Sean Phillips, 20 minutes with 16 points. He dominated.
So you said 18. It was 28 minutes against Howard. Yeah.
Ant was 28 minutes with 8 points, 1 of 6. That was when we were first like, ooh, not a great game. Sebastian Mack played 19 minutes of 9 points. Mark played 25, 9 points. Luke Nordweather played 23 minutes. T.O. played 18. Jacob Cruz 12. Jaden Stone 27.
Do we want to lead this into our most disappointing player of the season segment? I feel like we're halfway there already.
Who is the most disappointing player of the season to you?
So if we're going into that, man,
One second, I'm gonna open this box score from Notre Dame so we can really feel
All
it.
right. Yeah. Now, cool. Just kick me in the balls. While I try to
Javon
figure
Porter,
this out.
12 minutes, 0 points. Sean Phillips, 24 minutes, 6 points. Anthony Robinson, 37 minutes, 6.7 rebounds. Sebastian Mack, 6 minutes. That's when we first realized Mack might not have it. When they played Mack 6 minutes against Notre Dame, 2 points.
Yeah.
Mark Mitchell, 38 points, 38 minutes, 26 points, 8 of 17 from the field, 9-11 from free throw, 5 rebounds.
7 minutes from Ant, dude. 37 minutes.
16 minutes from Luke Northweather with 0 points. He shot the ball once. Both played 13 minutes and scored 3 points off a free throw.
Look,
T.O.
Northweather was a fun bit.
Jacob Cruz scored 22 points.
All right,
It
fine.
was the Mark Mitchell
fine.
Jacob Cruz game.
I'm doing it. Most disappointing player of the season. It's Jacob Cruz.
It's
I'm
Ant.
sorry.
What do you mean?
I could make arguments for other people. It's
If
Cruz.
I was to rank it,
I
would
think
go
Cruz
Ant,
actually
Mack,
got.
Cruz.
I think Cruz actually got worse.
But Cruz was never supposed to be an important part of the team. Like if
Yes,
like,
he is. He's supposed to be a role player who
no.
shoots threes, man, and makes a decent
was-
percentage of them.
Ant was the second highest paid player on this team. He was supposed to be the star.
Why are you worried about money,
benched.
bro?
That's disappointing. Like
No, he got
most
the
disappointing
yips.
is Ant.
Ant got
by
the
a mile.
yips.
That's disappointing, isn't it? That
And you know what? Like but it makes it less disappointing that like we did get to see the emergence of your boy T.O. Barrett as a result of that, which makes it, or at the
Mm-hmm. Here's the
time,
thing.
made
Cruz
it
is-
less
Cruz-
disappointing.
Cruz isn't even the second most disappointing. It's Mac. Because
Yeah, I think there's a
sure.
there-
Mac didn't even play well against bad teams.
I know that's the thing here, guys, is that I have 4 dudes that I could have picked here. You know what I mean? Like that's the sad part about our season. And this is why most disappointing player might be the most contentious thing.
Curtis, that was your most blatant attempt at being a hot take artist.
No,
Was you-
are you kidding
Yes,
me?
it
Mike's been crapping all over Jacob Cruz all season,
Yes,
and then
but
I pick him as a
Okay, but
disappointed
Mike,
one
Mike, who's your
time.
most disappointing player?
If you say Cruz, I
So-
swear to fucking God.
He's not going to say Cruz.
no.
I'm telling you
I
that
know,
right
I just
now.
had to
So
say
it well, one I'll address.
Is there an elephant in this room right now?
No, I wish. Devil's advocate pot hit the nail on the head. Did we really have any expectations for Cruz? I don't think going into the season there were these monumental. He's the next Caleb Grill shooter, but there were we brought it up from our very first few episodes. The Blue Blood book, whatever the college book is, he was mentioned a lot as this taking a step forward in the shooting role. But my level of expectation wasn't there to justify him being he's a fucking bum. It
but
is
he got
what it is.
worse. That's the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's not on my list. So Mac comes to mind first, and Ant.
What'd you expect from Mac? Whatever. Continue.
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Be the third guard.
Well, not only
the third point guard. The third guard is your most disappointing
Yes!
player.
He
Like,
started
okay,
the season. He was brought in to be like, well, honestly,
Yes.
he was brought in to be the running man of Ant. So honestly, the two guard. He was supposed to be the second most important guard on the team. That's what he was
If you-
brought in to do.
I'm,
So our
I'm
first and second most important guard on the team.
Julian, we're gonna get to you, all right? But Mike's talking right now, all right? Come on, stop cutting him off.
You will not yell at me, Curtis.
yeah. Don't yell at me.
No.
So-
I'm yelling at Julian. I'm allowing Mike to speak.
The Mac thing is interesting because I'm looking back at his splits right now from his last season at UCLA and his usage. I 100% see the vision for
He was supposed
But
to be
he
the
would-
driver.
yes.
He was supposed to
'cause-
eat on the second team. Like it was supposed to be like when the rotations came in, he was supposed to just start.
He had
feeding.
2 in March Madness last year. He only had 4 points. He had 4 points against Tennessee. They lost in the second round. He had no points against Utah State. But looking through his splits, like he had 18 points, Big Ten tournament quarterfinal. 25 minutes. Like he did exactly what he was supposed to do, and he was brought in to replicate that, and he didn't do that. So I would say I'm genuinely torn between Mac because no one knows what happened.
Is it a team fit thing? Is that like
I have no idea. Like I don't. I'm sure if we were able to get a genuine
this is why it's a personal answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would say Ant. I'm genuinely torn from Mac because there were I had high expectations because he actually played well at UCLA. It wasn't like he was run out of the program, or maybe there was shit behind the scenes that I don't know. But
yeah, he chose to leave, and they were sad that he left.
And then, but from the Ant perspective, would be I would say 51% of it's Ant, 49% Mac. And I would lean Ant from the standpoint that all off season he was touted as this top 25 player. Go look at all the early preseason rankings, metrics, future predictive rank, all the high end shit that everybody's looking at, and people were pretty damn spot on with it and the value that he brought to a team. And
were they spot on with it?
Other people they were with Ant though. Like it.
But so Mike, you're going Ant though, as you're picking Ant.
But I 100%.
Yeah. And I get it. Yeah.
I 100% support the Mac one too, because that was probably. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm genuinely torn. I can give either one, and I'll sleep just fine.
So Ant, well, at least we could argue Ant at least played and had moments. Mac had no moment.
Sure.
There was no moment where you're like, wow, Mac's hitting his stride. It was bad from the first game. And with Ant and Mac playing poorly,
his hype was better though.
Probably like over $1.5 million of NIL just not used well.
Yeah.
Which like on a team with Missouri's budget, not the highest spenders at any sense. Though this next season they're probably dropping a little bit more, but like that hurts.
But Kentucky game, Ant hits those. We're floundering. We're down by
that's what I'm saying.
12 points, and Ant comes in and hits these threes. So that's what I'm saying is like it. How disappointing was he? You know, he had his struggles, and so that's where you gotta value that, because Ant was supposed to be the main guy. Mac wasn't supposed to be the main guard.
Like what you're describing Ant doing is what we were hoping Jacob Cruz might do. Come in and hit a big three. But like Ant was paid star money. He was supposed to be, it was supposed to be him and Mark leading the box score every game. Can I read you a box score? This is Bethune-Cookman. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Bethune-Cookman. Phillips, 17 minutes, 4 points. Boat, who started that game, 22 minutes, 6 points. Anthony Robinson, 30 minutes, 15 points, 0-2 from 3, 7 assists. Nice job. Mark Mitchell, 28 points, 28 minutes, 19 points, 8 of 12 from the field. Jacob Cruz, 32 minutes, 20 points, 3 of 4 from three-pointer. Sebastian Mack, 18 minutes, 1 point, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, no rebounds, no assists.
So we won by 22. Worth noting. Just worth noting.
Insane.
No, I'm with you. I get it.
Oh,
I gotta take my flowers on Bethune-Cookman. They won the SWAC. I gave that out.
Yeah, you did.
From the very start. Hey, let's take a moment. Mike?
Yeah, that.
Hey, Curtis, can you pop old Taylor Edmonds comment up there? Not the one about you looking good, but the one about the Ant comment.
Let me go back and I'll pop that
Nick
other one.
Honor honey trap of increased usage equals decreased efficiency. Yes and
Read
no.
that again. I'm sorry. I was talking over you.
Did Ant fall into the Sean East Nick Honor trap of increased usage equals decreased efficiency?
I think you called it a honey trap.
I called it a honey trap the first time. I don't know why.
I tried to bail you out by saying I was talking over you.
Nick Honey. Yes and no. Yes, in that he definitely was a more of a focal point. But also, I think it was that when early in the season, Trent Pierce is hurt, Stone goes to Superior being hurt, team's still trying to find itself. This is when you expect him to dominate. Like Mark will dominate when everyone's playing badly. He just couldn't do it. And when he dominated last season, he had Bates and and Grill as these release valves that allowed him to just play a lot more free. He didn't have that this year. In fact, the team just played a completely different style. Like with Phillips in the fold, they played a much more pound the rock into the interior style that he just never seemed to quite. Yeah. Yeah. And
Julian, what was your official most disappointing
Mac. I actually
Mac?
finished it with
Okay.
Mac followed by Ant.
No. There's one, okay? This is what we're doing here. We all have
You can't silence me, Curtis.
a million reasons. Yes, I will. Stop yelling at me.
On the we talked about this after, I don't remember which game, but it was like clear that Ant isn't going to be this guy this season. I don't remember which game. I know we talked about it a while of like there obviously was something going. Devil's advocate, he hits nail on the head too again. Like mentally fresh, something was going on. But then also on the Mac thing, like he also points out, literally didn't play for 60 days or whatever. Like, and I genuinely don't. I mean, maybe that's if we can get another, Drew King or someone else on in that space that knows a little bit more behind the scenes, because clearly something was going on. Like kid doesn't leave UCLA and then just peters out. I don't know.
I think it was pretty clear we had thoughts that he was already had a foot in the portal, so to speak.
Which I mean,
for a while there.
I'll sing this until I leave this earth, that everyone's a mercenary now.
Yep.
It just doesn't. They don't. If the money's right, they'll stay. If not, they'll go play at UAB or some bullshit and get a bag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is what it is. They just, they deserve the bag. This is the NCAA's fault at the end of the day. We've been through all of our categories now, outside of the player rankings, which we'll post the mid non-con version compared to the end of year ones.
Yeah, we're over an hour.
That's what I'm saying. So just to recap, favorite moment, mine, favorite moment of the year. Mark Pope joking about offing himself.
I'm gonna pause it. I have one last thing I actually do want everyone to
go for it.
Certificate on. How would you have graded the coaching job of Dennis Gates this season?
All right, I'm gonna add a separate category for this. Mike, you're once again we're putting the pressure on you, buddy.
Fuck, do I gotta go first on this?
I can go first.
Julian, go.
I'll go. Fuck it.
Okay.
I'm gonna call
Big Hoss
Curtis on his whatever dig or vendetta he's got against me for tonight.
Vendetta.
Dude, he hates you, man. Curtis hates you.
It screams vendetta.
Stop yelling at me.
I don't know what you did to him, Mike. I don't know what you did. I think you're better at betting than him.
Mizzou did very well for me this year, both betting against them and
Mike won a bunch of money betting against Missouri this year. All right, Mike, come on, give us your grade. All right, come on.
Yeah, that's cool. I would say B-.
B-.
Yeah,
B-.
I think
B-. Explain.
I think getting back to the tournament back-to-back years, naturally losing first round, like it just doesn't surprise me. I don't think he. Trying to think. I'm going to lump coaching in general, not just Gates, is more questioning the judge of talent and vision. So Gates is not fall into that entire category of what, like when we talked a couple of days ago about doing this episode, I went back and read the 2 pages that were wrote about Mizzou, and there were just a lot of fucking swings and misses. And I get you have, with the NIL and the portal and all that shit, you're grasping at straws sometimes. Like we have 11 days, 12 days till the portal closes. And then you're going to have some coaching departures. You're going to get that 5-day window, 10-day, whatever the window is for kids to be able to leave again. So it's not
But
officially.
to be fair, it's not like they entered the portal and they're like, we got to look at the kids now. It's like they've been scouting this.
Yes.
There's been tampering. There's been shit going on for months. But yeah.
So I would say broadly as a whole, I don't like what was the vision of this team? Like I go back to just how big of a miss of the 803 sticks with me so much of like who is going to like that is a rudimentary someone who has a basic understanding of basketball can be like, well, who's going to shoot those?
That's the first thing you said when you
Jake
said that.
Cruz, baby.
Immediately you were like, tell me who's shooting.
Like
you were right about that one, Flowers. Sorry.
So that concerns me. The NIL piece. He's obviously this year's. I think is going to be a little different. We're going to do an episode in a couple weeks when the dust settles. But we have a whole new team to get together essentially.
Do you think that
right
impacted
now
his roster construction for this previous year,
or
his coaching, or
I don't know. I'm not Gates is a very good Brian and Joe coach. He
never heard that phrase. What does that mean?
There's coaches who are all about X's and O's and not the Brians and Joes. They don't care about the individual. I think Gates genuinely cares about the individual.
Yeah.
He's Mike Tomlin.
There's building a culture. There's the connections with not just family, fucking wives, kids, crews in this case. Like there's genuine connection, which I think is phenomenal. I love that. But there seems to be in-game management seems to always be an issue. And then it's almost just like when it comes down to March, I literally say, this shit's all fucking recorded. This is the nice part. I don't care who they were matched up with in the first round. Just bet against Mizzou. As much as I wanted Mizzou, I didn't care how much I had on that game. I literally could.
We had a lead in the second half, though.
Yeah, that money was dead to me. But in that moment,
B-. So what? I just want to like to narrow it down. Yeah. What is it? What's the biggest detractor? What's the biggest thing that's bringing his rating down for you? Is it in-game coaching, or was it roster construction, or
in-game coaching for sure? Okay. And then I think he obviously it saves grace because he's able to get these McDonald's All-Americans, and hopefully he. Jimmy's and Joe's, Devil's Advocate. I don't know where
as long as it rhymes. As long as it rhymes, it doesn't matter, man.
I will say I talked to a lot of fucking Bryans today at work. I don't know why. There were a lot of Bryans that came.
Question is, do you have the Bryans? Do you have them? I got a roster.
We're not
full of
BYU,
Bryans.
buddy. All right.
There's both. I mean, Devil's Advocate. I feel like we can go back and forth. Like, yeah, maybe I've been these guys. Julian and Curtis and other guys have known me for 10 years, and from the get-go, I wasn't a Gates fan.
Don't age us like that. All right.
Curtis is still 24, by the way.
Thank you.
Julian, go ahead.
You said B-. I was just gonna say B, and like most of our chatters have all said B. And I think for me, I actually thought this was Gates' best in-season coaching so far. Like, I thought he did a great job building the culture. I thought his adjustments. I thought his in-game coaching was good. Like, honestly, there's rarely a game where I was like, man, that call by Gates is bad. There are things that happened in games that are unfortunate but I don't really think it's because they didn't coach him very well. Like, for example, the Vanderbilt meltdown. We have seen them break press. We have seen them react and close games. I mean, Mizzou had a great close game record. So the fact that there's a Vanderbilt meltdown, I don't really think it was like, oh man, like that was just the players shot themselves because he called timeouts. Yeah. He did everything he was supposed to do, and like, but I don't think he was in the huddle going, guys, how do we break this press? How do we?
Yeah,
Gates obviously.
Somebody save me.
But the point I'm making is why this isn't an A is because one, he shot himself in the foot with the roster construction, which I don't grade him as harshly, because I think how they've operated is really good high school players are cheaper than really good portal players. Based on the
100%.
reality of our budget, we have to hit better on high school than we do, and we have to get really lucky in the portal. I think that's going to be different this year. I think the whole point of hiring Tim Fuller is that he's a donor. He's a donor extraordinaire, and they have a little bit more money to play with this year, and they understand that they got to actually work the portal this year. So while I think the blame does lay on him for who he brought in and how they played, it also, there are some limitations that he can't control. So, and then another reason to be is, of course, is because how the team looked at the end of the season.
Smooth Crew's playing COD right now. That's fucking gold.
He is.
Do we know which COD? That's
He's playing World at War, the new one.
dude. If he steals my shtick, by the way, I'm gonna start streaming World at War Zombies.
Oh my god!
Tune in, like, subscribe.
We're gonna play nonstop just to match up with him in the hopes. Julian, yeah, so you went
God.
B. Julian,
Hey, wait. How many people is he streaming to right now?
Yeah, can someone?
It's not important.
No,
how many people are we streaming to right now? Right, it's not important. All right.
We are streaming to more people. We're streaming to 8. How many is he streaming to? I have it open right now.
Over under 4.5 for him.
That's a solid over under. It's 5. He is playing Warzone, Mike. He's playing COD Warzone. You know the kids. You know the kids is way asleep. I mean, he's streaming late. How long has he been streaming for? Let me open this up. No face cam, coward. No, he has a face cam. Just kidding. He's wearing. Dude, he's locked in.
All right, so this is now just a chat where we watch Jacob Cruz
play. Okay, guys, I'm gonna pop this up on the screen share. We're gonna watch Jacob Cruz play Call of Duty Warzone.
Please don't do it.
Smooth.
He has the camera though, but he does the low look where it's like looking up at him. Not a big fan of that viewpoint.
Is it a PC or Xbox? Because I'm gonna find him. We're gonna match up.
You're gonna get Warzone and play with him. Anyway,
I still can't. I can't find him on Twitch. Anyway, Julian, you went with a B for the grade. I have.
I mean, Curtis, are you gonna do anything but B?
I'm gonna go B as well.
Yeah.
So that's all I wanted to say. I had to get around to saying I am also going B. I just can't justify anything higher nor lower. Yeah. He took this team to the tournament where it looked like it was completely cooked by Christmas. And then we looked like we might be able to make a huge run. But, I mean, you have to understand that the competition that we were facing in the SEC is ridiculous. And I think we did overall well. We finished the year horribly again. And so that was the only thing I wanted to bring up was, as I try to find Jacob Cruz's stream here, is Gates in March? You know, I know the stats get thrown around there a lot on Twitter by the haters. We've had some time to, dwell on it. Julian, is that something that concerns you or not?
Sorry, say that again. What should concern me?
His Dennis Gates' stats in March.
No, I'm not concerned.
I'm sorry. No. Nah would be the answer there. It was yes or nah.
I'm not concerned.
Or nah. Yeah,
I'm not concerned.
Mike, concerned.
Concerned.
Mike's concerned.
Yeah.
Okay.
At some point, you got to get over the hump. That's
all right. Well, I mean, I think we can all say that, like, I mean, next year is the year, right? We got to get it done.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. I'm not concerned. I feel like this next season is the telling season. Everything will be told. He will build his best roster and he will get deep into the tournament, or he will flame out again and the school will go, yeah, I don't know about this one, Chief, and we'll go from there.
What's your barrier as a crystal ball it. Where do you look? What's deep into March for you to say this was money well spent? Mizzou spends
Sweet
30%, so Sweet 16 or bust basically for Gates.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
What was that? Sorry.
I mean,
I had Jacob Cruz's COD stream in my ear.
yeah, Sweet 16 second weekend.
Yeah, I agree. Second weekend.
Yeah, I don't think anything less based on no one, what 8-9 million was the total that the number's been thrown around that Mizzou spent this past season on NIL. They'll probably surpass that this season, if I had to guess.
Oh yeah.
They'll I would assume the 10 to 12 total, and just based on what a center, a guard, a point guard, and
I mean, what Crow costs, what Brian costs, like those two weren't cheap. You're gonna
Right
then
about that.
also you have to get a center. Centers are the most expensive commodity in the portal. Like,
yeah,
they're gonna do it.
Hey, yeah, portal conversation coming later, but yeah,
I think also
guess
playing.
that
I think
kind of sums it up for this.
I think
last
also
season.
playing devil's advocate is a good point. There's a big difference between entering the tournament in a really good spot and barely scraping in and making a run. I don't know. It's like, yes, I think
Or Mizzou though. Like
if they win, like if they go win in the SEC tournament and they go in and they get to the round of 32 and lose, I'm not going to be like, okay, we got to fire Gates now. You know what I mean? It's like, there's definitely context and there's way things could play out that make me change my mind. But if you're just asking like, what is the thing we're looking for? It's like, man, a Sweet 16 with what he's going to be getting together with the money they're going to be putting in.
yeah.
Taylor says we should be fighting for a 3-4 seed. Next year, I would like to be.
I am really curious. How good the SEC is
5-6
gonna
would be
again.
the worst case scenario for me. Next year, given this roster, I would not worst case scenario. 5-6 would be what I'm hoping for.
I mean, it's also going to really depend on how the rest of the SEC goes. How much of a gauntlet is it going to be? Because
yes,
the thing I wondered is, what would Miami's record be if they played in the SEC? You know what I mean? Like, because Miami had some way easier teams to play against than Missouri did.
15
Now, Miami
wins,
beat
maybe?
Missouri. I'm not saying that Miami is a
Yeah.
worse team.
I mean,
I'm just saying that.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
of course, yeah.
we talked about that on the matchup though, that we're damn near the same team as Miami.
Yep.
Like pound for pound, you look at you
whatever.
get into the weeds of the analytics, like we're pretty damn similar. Like,
Yeah, but we had to, cut our teeth against the SEC, and they they got to play Pitt. I say that respectfully as a kid who grew up rooting for Pitt. Like that's
the gauntlet that the SEC runs from the start of conference play to the start of March Madness for any of those teams that get in is incredibly tough.
It is what it is. Julian, I'm gonna let you call it. We've got let's see here.
An hour and a half of content for the folks.
An hour and a half of content. We've lost 3 viewers, and that still leaves us with 3 more than Jacob Cruz has right now. So I think that might be a good place to call it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not gonna make any predictions though until we see how the portal goes.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's gonna be an interesting pod. How does the portal
We'll be
end?
here to circle up with you guys.
Always appreciate everyone.
Yep.
Tedman,
Fun
Justin,
season. Can't wait to do it again.
All you guys, thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Julian, you masochist. Can't wait to do it again.
Can't wait to do it again.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the fun part of being a fan. The highs and the lows.
Yeah.
Give me another.
All right, guys.
Another.
MIZ.
Zow.
Mike, give me a ZOU.
ZOU.